Hello there. I hope this is showing well, and what I'm gonna do is work on this collage. I've already adhered all the elements, and so now I'm gonna try to put some color in it. So first, I do use, as you all know probably by now if you've been watching my videos, the Portfolio oil pastels, and they are water soluble. I'm trying to figure out who it's made by, and I may have to go to the internet to look at that up. I know I had to get these at through Amazon, but they're really fantastic because they let you blend, and I really enjoy working with them. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out, and I'm gonna be looking at the colors of my picture, and I'm seeing a lot of colors coming out, and I think, you know, probably one of the things that I am I don't know if it's showing better. I guess it shows better like this, but it's gonna be kind of hard for me to color like that. But anyway, I'm gonna see, maybe I can move the camera a little bit. Okay, we'll see. I mean, you won't be able to see it this way, maybe. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But in any case, this is what we got. And you know, the first thing I look at, I think it was Mike Deacon that I got this from, was to start with kind of like the lighter colors and then go to the darker. So, you know, one of the first colors that I'm seeing that is catching my eye is a color in here that is kind of like a grayish, very light grayish, and then blue, slightly blue, and then now this here in my hand is a moss, so it's a green, but it's got like kind of a grayish tone. So I'm gonna pull this one out, I'm gonna pull out the gray, and I'm probably gonna pull out a little bit of a, maybe this baby blue. Okay, and so I'm gonna work with those colors. So I think as a base I want to go ahead and start probably maybe pulling out some of this gray here, and so I'm just going to go over the edges of this right here and see, you know, how it looks, you know. And so now usually it helps to have a little bit of water for blending, but you can use baby white too, because I tend not to have, you know, water with me handy, and I don't want to stop the video now to do that. But anyway, so yeah, you could just kind of dab on it, and then it'll be wet, and then you can go back and do that, and you could still see the text underneath. So now let's see, I think I'm going to continue with that a little bit. Let's see, I was going to continue with that a little more, but there's a red here, and I'm not sure how that's going to look with this red, so I'm going to be curious to see that. So, and actually I'm kind of liking it not like a little more concentrated, the color, like I'm not liking blending it as much as I thought, so I'm kind of wanting to leave the color and not blend it so much, if that makes any sense. So I'm going in with the gray, and I'm just going around the edges of the collage, just this little section right here, as you can see. Hopefully you can see that. And so now I'm kind of going back to wanting, you know, to bring some of that green, and so I'm going to go ahead and kind of do the same thing, just go around the edges of it and then blend in this here little by little. Let me see if I can what it's gonna look like. Sometimes you just gotta do a little bit to kind of figure out, you know, if you like it. And I do like it. I really, really do like it, actually. So I'm very happy, and I'm gonna continue that all around. Again, this border, this, you know, like the edges of the collage bits. So I'm gonna do that. And you know, also whenever you're blending with your finger, you know, if you want to have the color going in one direction, like say vertical versus horizontal, then you know, that's part of decision making, because it will, you know, it's not a huge deal usually, but it does kind of enhance the look of the picture, depending on the direction you go with that. Okay, so now I've put some of this green. I do like it, this moss green, because it's got a lot of that gray. And I'm a little scared to put this blue, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because, you know, if there's anything that I've learned lately with art is, you know, you do it afraid. You know, that's what courage is, isn't it? Doing it afraid. You know, you don't want to let fear stop you. You're not gonna not be afraid. You know, I think a lot of times in life we wait until we're not afraid to do things, and sometimes that doesn't happen. So you just got to do it afraid if you know that that's the right thing to do. And so right now I feel like I want to add this blue, and I am afraid that it may not work out. But again, I mean, it's obviously it's a minor decision in life here. This is not a big deal, but you know, it applies to life too, some of these lessons that you can learn in art. So far, this is what I have, and I'm really liking it. I'm really, really liking it. I'm liking even that the middle of this, for example, is not, you know, very colored. It's very light in the middle there. And I might go back with a little more pigment, but in the meantime, I feel like I want to continue. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with another area. So like right here, for example, you know, these are areas or spaces where I can come in with color, and I'm not sure how I'm going to come in. So this is another kind of neutral. It's like a sort of a skin tone color, like a light one. And so I kind of wanted to go in with that just because it is a very neutral color, right? And it kind of blends some of the, I think it might blend in some of the colors that are around it. Like some of these, like berries, these little berries here. But they actually have a little more red. I actually don't like it. I just put that down, and I don't like it that much. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit out and come back in. I'm almost tempted to come back in with that same blue, gray, green situation that I did here, but I tend to want to go with these colors here. So I don't know. Let me try. I mean, if I hate it, I just won't continue with that, right? But I think this is where I want to go with this. And I like it, but this blue-green deal is really calling me. So like I said, I'm pretty tempted to go back into that. But before I do that, I'm seeing this mustard yellow that is just really cute, and I'm wanting to kind of add that because there's some of these leaves have some of that color in it, and so that's pretty. I actually really like that. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, so right now we're at about 10 minutes into the video, and I'm probably gonna cut the video at in about 5 or less minutes, and so then I'm gonna continue you know, doing the coloring, and I'll probably just do the after, you know, I'll add that to the video so I can have a before and after. But yeah, this here has some like a gray background where the berries are, so I want to go in with the gray because I feel like that would blend in this area right here. So let's see. But see, the gray that is in the picture is it's got like a pinkish tone in there, so it makes me want to add that light skin color because I feel like that has a little bit of that tone, and it's kind of making that gray blend with that. So I do like how that's working. So that's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. So you see now, that's kind of interesting. So I like that. And now I am actually picking a lot of different colors. They're, you know, obviously colors that are going to combine well with this. But in the end, let's see if I can go ahead and come back in like this with this here, with this gray. I think, you know, gray, I love gray. Gray is a really wonderful color. You know, I didn't think it was, but it just gives a lot of character to a lot of the images. And you know, it can definitely be a negative, but it could be a super positive. Now also the edges here, like right here, are too sharp, so I'm gonna try to blend some of that gray in a way that will kind of blend the images together a little bit better. So that's what I'm doing here right now. I hope you can. Hello, I am back, and I have completed the collage, and I'm gonna try to bring it up to here to be able to see the details. And as you can tell, at the end, the last thing is I brought in the red, but very, very lightly, because obviously red is a pretty dark color. So if we're kind of following the rules, which I took from Mike Beacon, we're using the dark, you know, the lighter colors first and then the darker ones last. And so yeah, so here, you know, by the way, this print, which you see in you know, probably mainly the top and a little bit on the bottom, is actually napkin collage. But anyway, that was before. You could see that on the before. And I did add a little bit of blue in the edges after the green in a few places, but not too much, because, you know, I just wanted just enough to give it a balance of color. And so I'm gonna, like I said, try to bring this up to where we can look at this. And you know, this branch is kind of bothering me in the light. I'm seeing that it looks like it's faded out, so I'm going to go ahead and bring the baby wipe while this is still a little bit of, you know, not as okay. So that maybe helped a little bit to bring that branch back, and because it was kind of looking a little bit strange there, but now I really, really like the way it turned out. I had to kind of draw in the foot a little bit with color, and I had to also kind of draw this a little bit around the edges, because that was an incomplete, you know, piece. So anyway, I hope you guys like it. I hope you will make comments, questions on the comments below. And thank you again for letting me share this with you. Again, I hope this was inspiring to you, and I hope that you would want to create art and see that it's really not that difficult. I mean, it's not totally easy, but you know, it can be. You know, you just gotta play. You just gotta do it. Just kind of like Nike, just do it. and then you'll see, you'll figure it out. You really will.